Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya.
Jnanam Nikshayasarthaya Purushasya Atma Darshanam Yad Ahur Varnaye Tat Te Hridaya Granthi Hedanam Jnanam Nikshayasayartha Jnanam Nikshayasarthaya Purushasatma Darshanam Purushasatma Darshanam Yadahur Varnaye Tatte Yadahur Varnaye Tatte Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam Jnanam Nikshayasarthaya Purushasyatma Darshanam Yadahur Varnaye Tatte Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam Knowledge. Nikshayasa Arthaya. For the ultimate perfection. Purushasya. Of a man. Atma Darshanam. Self-realization. Yat. Which. Ahu. They said. Varnaye. I shall explain. Tat. That. Te. Unto you. Hridaya. In the heart. Granthi. The knots. Bhedanam. Cuts. Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. I shall explain that knowledge unto you, by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut.
Jnanam Nishrasarthaya Purushasya Atmadarshanam Jadahu Varnaye Tatte Hridaya Granthi Vedanam. What is Gyan? Knowledge. We have got Gyan means consciousness or living symptoms. That is Gyan. Chetan. Chetana, Nitya Nityanam, Chetanas Chetanana. Nitya and Chetan. Chetan means consciousness. Two things we find generally, conscious and unconscious. Just like this table is unconscious, but a small ant, it is conscious. If that ant is coming this side, you try to stop it, it will struggle, it will resist, because it is conscious. But the table, you take it and throw it away, it will not protest, because it is unconscious. So, this consciousness is the symptom of life, and that develops one after another. Just like within the earth, you have seen, you go to the beach, you'll find within the sand, there are so many living entities. but they are inferior. And the the plants on the sand, we have seen there are many green plants, herbs, they are better. They have improved their consciousness. But better than these plants and herbs are the crawling insects, snakes, snail, because they can move. The herbs, they cannot move. And within the sand there are living entities, they cannot sprout. So in this way, this is called evolution, one after another. So the insects, the reptiles, they are better than the standing herbs and plants. And these insects, the worms, they grow wings at the end of their life. In this way, they are elevated to the bird's life. In this life, they could not attain the bird's life, but on account of very strong willingness, they grow the wings, and next life they become small birds, they fly. So they are better, the small birds, they are better than these insects. Then there are birds, big birds, the eagle birds, they can fly very high. In this way, beast life, that is better. In this beast life, then human life and civilized life, that is better. And then civilized life, that is better. Then civilized life, those who are organized, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, they are better. And amongst the Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, the Brahman is the best, because they are on the platform of spiritual realization. This is the evolution. Evolution, we are coming in that evolution. Bahu sambhavante. Bahu sambhavan, bahunam janmanamante. Bahu sambhavante. So, this human life is after many evolutionary process. We have forgotten that. So, this life is meant for jnanam, ultimate knowledge. In the lower grade of life, there is jnanam, there is consciousness, there is knowledge. A mosquito bird, mosquito knows where to bite. The knowledge is there. They will bite on the joints. That when there is mosquito, you have to eat your hands and lick the joints. But they know where to bite. This knowledge is there. For eating, sleeping and sex life, nobody takes education for sex life. Nobody takes education for eating or sleeping. Where is the education? That you shall eat like this, you shall sleep like this, you shall have sexual intercourse like this. That is automatically known. This knowledge is automatically known. So human civilization does not mean that scientifically you have to do this, do that, eating, sleeping, mating. That is going on scientifically. Now the science of mating is that we shall have sex intercourse, but there will be no pregnancy. Contracept. So this is not knowledge. Knowledge is different thing. Knowledge means jnanam nisrasarthaya purushasya atmadarshanam. That is knowledge. Atmadarshanam, self-realization. That is jnana. Otherwise, this lower jnana, knowledge, how to eat, how to sleep, how to perform sexual life, and how to defend, this knowledge is there even in the mosquito or small ant. And what to speak of other higher grade living entities. That is jnanam, but that is not nisreshaya. Shreya and preya, there are two things. Preya means to fulfill immediate necessities of life. That is called preya. And Shreya means the knowledge. Shreya means the goal of life. Nisreshaya. Nisresha means the ultimate benefit. That education is lacking. In the material world, the jnana, especially in the present age, jnana means technical knowledge, how to eat, how to sleep. Now then, somebody was telling me that they have invented eatables from petrol. Who was speaking the other day? Bhagavad. So, they might be very advanced in scientific knowledge, but the ultimate aim is how to eat. That's all. Nothing more. How to eat, how to sleep, that's all. Tranquilizer pills in USA, a large selling line, that means how to sleep. This is the advancement. Scientific advancements, there is no sleeping. Without scientific knowledge, you are sleeping very nice. But with the advancement of scientific knowledge, he has lost his sleep, insomnia. So they are taking the advancement of knowledge in this way. But the Vedic scripture says, the jnanam nisyasarthaya, to achieve the highest perfection. That we are discussing in so many ways. And what is that highest perfection? Highest perfection is there, mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhing paramangata. Highest perfection, samsiddhing paramam. Param means the supreme, and samsiddhi means perfection. Mam upeta kaunteya dukkhalayam asasatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhing paramangata. This is highest perfection. Krishna says, all Shastra says like that. And the whole Vedic literature is meant for achieving the highest perfection of life. Vedic literature, you get all kinds of knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And the Vedic literature is full of knowledge. Nigama kalpataru. Nigama means Vedic knowledge. And kalpataru means the tree from where you can get anything you desire. Whatever you desire. Generally we have got experience that a mango tree, if you desire mango, you can get from the mango tree. If you desire coconut, then you can get from the coconut tree. But you cannot get coconut from the mango tree and mango from the coconut tree. But there are trees where you go, you can get both mango and banana and coconut and everything we like. That is called kalpa vriksha. We have no experience in this material world. But there is a tree. That is not in this material world, that is in the spiritual world. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakha britesu surabhira vipalayantam. So you have to take knowledge from Vedic scripture, that the description of the spiritual world is there. What is that? Chintamani prakara sadmasu. There are houses, they are made of touchstone. Here it is made of bricks and stone, ordinary stone. But there is another stone which is called touchstone. If you touch it with the iron becomes gold. That is called touchstone. Paresh path. So, the spiritual world, all the houses are made of this touchstone. You can take the Tata iron factory and touch it there. It will be very profitable. Yes. Or go there and bring some touchstone, as these moon exploiters, they go and they have brought some stone and some sand. But if you go to Krishna Loka, you can bring some touchstone and make the whole Tata iron factory gold. These informations are there. If you have got capacity, then you go and bring it. So, in the spiritual world, the houses are made of touchstone. Chintamani prakara sadmasu, Chintamani. The touchstone. Sanskrit name is Chintamani. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha. And the trees, there are trees, but not like this, that you get coconut from coconut tree and mango from mango tree. But Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha. There any fruit you require. Or even kachori you can get. That is called kalpa vriksha. There are trees like that. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha. And maybe one or two know lokhabritesu. There is a nice garden or jungle, you can say. There are many. Just like you have got experience here in this material world. If you go to the forest, you get so many trees congested. In Africa you have seen very high, long trees and very congested jungle. So prakara lakhabritesu. Similarly in the spiritual world there are trees of this kalpa vriksha where you can get anything you desire. Lakhabritesu surabhi and surabhira vipalayantam. There Krishna is very fond of cows. There's Krishna's another name is Gopal. Gopal means who tends cows. Go means cow. And Pala means one who tends. Therefore Krishna's another name is Gopal. Govinda. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the cows. Or Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the senses. So Krishna's name is different. So Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakhabritesu surabhira vipalayantam. There Krishna is tending this surabhi. Surabhi, cow, means that is also wonderful, spiritual. You can milk from the cows as many times as you like. Just like here we have got experience. We can take milk from the cows morning and evening, not more than that. But there, you can milk the cows whenever you like. And you can draw milk as much as you like. That is called surabhi cow. The trees are like that, the cows are like that, but there are houses, there are forests, jungle, trees, cows, water, everything, but they are all spiritual. All spiritual. Therefore there is one. Here is also one. Because everything material. Whatever, either you take cow's body or your body or tree's body or any body, what it is made of? Kiti ap teja marud bomb. The earth, water, air, fire and sky. That's all. Here it is all one. And there also it is one. But there it is all spiritual. And here it is all material. That is the difference. The spiritual and material, what is the difference? The material is dull and spiritual is consciousness. That is the difference. How the tree gives you, a mango tree there gives you coconut, because it is conscious. Suppose if I ask from you, because you are a conscious being, that give me some coconut, you can give. Give me some mango, you can give. But when you are out of this body, then I ask the body, give me some milk or cow, or no response. This is material and spiritual. Nitya nityanam chetana chetana. So, jnanam, real knowledge is that when we understand that I am spiritual being, I am not this material. And my country is that spiritual world, that is my place. That is jnanam, self-realization. Atma-darsana. Atma-darsana. Suppose a foreigner is in America, an Indian is in America, or an American is in India. So, he is conscious that I am American, I do not belong to this country. Or Indian, when he goes to America, he knows, I am Indian, I do not belong to this country. Similarly, when you realize, when you understand that you do not belong to this material world, you belong to this spiritual world, that is self-realization. Atma-darshanam, that what is called Atma-darshanam. Jnanam nisresakaya purusasya Atma-darshanam. Purusha. Purusha means enjoyer. And prakriti means enjoyed. Something is being enjoyed and somebody is enjoyer. That is called prakriti purush. So, here it is said, Purusha. Purusha means the living entity who is trying to enjoy. He is trying to enjoy. But he is trying to enjoy where? In the material world. Therefore he is not satisfied. In the spiritual world, the Purusha, the living entity, enjoys with Krishna, not alone. Therefore you will find Krishna is always accompanied by someone else, either Radharani or cowherd's boy or the gopis or Mother Jasoda or Nanda Maharaj or the cows and the calves, like that. Or even with the monkeys. Krishna will never find alone. Therefore, as soon as we speak Krishna, you must know there are so many associates. Krishna, that's like if I say the president is coming. So one should know the president is not coming alone. He must be accompanied by his secretaries, by his military aide-camp and so many other people, cabinet members, at least 12 persons are coming with him, or with some soldiers, bodyguards. So similarly, when you mean Krishna or God, you should immediately know that he is not alone. He is not impersonal, void. He is full with opulence, full with associates. Therefore this description is of the spiritual world in the Brahma Samhita, Vedic literature. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vrikkha lakha britesu surabhi ravipalayantam. This is the trees, plants and animals. Then Lakshmi sahasra sata samrama sevamanam govindam adipurusam tamam. He is not only in this surrounding of Chintamani, bricks, houses and desert trees, many covered, not only the cows, Surabhi and the river, but also many thousands of Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. That is Krishna. That is the essence. So one has to realize this. That is Jnanam. Jnanam does not mean that because I am disgusted with this material world, to make this material world not make, the material cannot be also made into zero. But we can imagine also something where there is no more these trees and houses and animals and oven and this and that, everything is finished. Nirakar. Nirakar, all kinds of akar, all forms. Nirbishesha. Vishesha means with varieties. And Nirbishesha means without varieties. This is Mayavad philosophy. Finish this Vishesha, the varieties. Simply realize I am aham brahmasmi, soham, like that. But that is not Jnanam. That is not Jnanam. That will be explained one after another. Because Nirbishesha, there is no possibility of Nirbishesha. As I explained to you, as soon as you say Krishna, immediately you have to think of Krishna's paraphernalia, not Krishna alone. So, everywhere Krishna is there. Ishara sarvabhutanam nirdesha arjuna tishtati. Brahman sarvabhutani jantrarurani maya. Krishna is everywhere. Andantarastham paramanuchayantarastham govindamadi purusam tamang vajami. He is everywhere. So how it can be impersonal? Therefore the jnana which considers of impersonality without any varieties, that is not jnana. That is not nishya-sartha. That is simply a temporary appeasement. Because I am disgusted with these material varieties, let it be zero, void. That is a temporary solace. We cannot remain without varieties. That is not possible. If there is nobody here and you sit down, make meditation, you can sit down for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, then you'll go ahead. This is not possible. Because the spirit soul, either the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Soul, or the living entity, he is also spirit. Both of them are Brahma. Parabrahma and ordinary Brahma. We are ordinary Brahmas. And Krishna is the Supreme Brahma. So, Brahma, either supreme or ordinary, is seeking after happiness. That is Brahma life. seeking after happiness. Just like Krishna is for a Brahma, but he is also seeking happiness with Radharani and the gopis and the cowherds boy and the cows and the calves. So, Ananda, spiritual happiness, is not without varieties. Anandamaya Abhyasa. Spirit Brahma or Parabrahma is full of happiness. And how happiness can be possible without varieties? Variety is the mother of enjoyment. Therefore, this nirvisesh, nirakar, or without any varieties or voidness, this is not perfect knowledge. That is not self-realization. Self-realization is to understand that I am spirit soul. I do not belong to this material world. I am not Brahma, matter. That is called Soham, Aham Brahmasmi. But they are misinterpreted in a different way. Soham means I am the Supreme Lord. That is craziness. You are not Supreme Lord, but you are of the same quality. As Krishna, the Supreme Lord, he is also seeking enjoyment. And because you are also part and parcel of Krishna, you are also seeking enjoyment. But you are seeking enjoyment in a field which is just opposite. In the material world. What is that material world? Material world means forgetting Krishna. Krishna is covered. Krishna is there. Krishna is anantarasthang paramana. But they have no Krishna consciousness. Whole world, you analyze, there is no Krishna consciousness, there is no God. Rather they are declining. There is no God. God is dead. I am God, you are, because they have information, no information. That is material world. That is the difference between material world and spiritual world. Spiritual world means there is full consciousness of the existence of God. And material world means the full forgetfulness of God. This is the difference between material world and spiritual world. So, if you bring in the material world also Krishna consciousness, then it is spiritual world. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible. Just like you put one iron rod in the fire, it will become gradually warmer, then the iron rod will be red, hot, and in the redness you touch anywhere, it will burn. It is no more iron rod, it is fire. So you keep yourself always in Krishna consciousness, then even if you possess this material body, you will be in the spiritual world. This is called jnana. Jnanams, atmadarshanam, jnanam nishchasa. So we have to come to this platform, spiritual platform. We are suffering on account of being on the material platform. So, by keeping yourself always in the fire of Krishna or Krishna consciousness, you are transferred to the spiritual world. Very nice example, this iron rod, red hot. You cannot use it for any other purpose. It is simply for burning. Similarly, you can become Krishnized. That we have already discussed in the previous verses. Anyone who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service, he is two kinds of external body, namely the gross body, material body, this gross body, made of earth, water, fire, air and sky, and the subtle body made of mind, intelligence and ego. These two kinds of body becomes dissolved. Just like if you eat something, put into your stomach, and if you have got good digestive function, then everything will be digested. Similarly, if you become Krishna conscious, spiritualized, the material activities will have no effect. It is dissolved. Otherwise, any material things you will do, it will have repercussion or reaction. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Jagyarthe karmannatra lokayam karma bandhana. Jagyarthe. Jagga means Krishna. Jagga Purush. Jaggesha. Krishna's another name is Jaggesha. Bhoktaram Jaggatapasam. Krishna says, Jaggatapasam Bhokta. Therefore there is Jaggesha. So whatever you do for Krishna, it will have no reaction. Digest everything. And if you do not do for Krishna, then it will take time to digest. Therefore, yet it is says, Jnana nishreyasarthaya purushasya atmadarsanam. Purusha. Purusha means the enjoyer. So here in this material world, either the so-called man and so-called woman, everyone is hankering after sense enjoyment. Therefore, all of them together has been described as Purusha. A woman is not Purusha, but by mentality she is Purusha, because she also wants to enjoy. Although she has got the body of being enjoyed, but she has the mentality of enjoying. Therefore everyone is described, although by nature everyone is Prakriti, not Purusha. Prakriti means enjoy. That is stated in the Bhagavata, Prakriti me bhinna astada. This material body is made of earth, water, fire, air, sky. That is Prakriti. Bhinna, separated. Itastu viddhime prakriting para. There is another nature, that is para prakriti, that is spiritual nature. And how I can understand? Na jiva bhuta. You can understand that para prakriti is the living entity. Jayedam dharjate jagat, which is sustaining this material nature. So actually, in the Bhagavad Gita, both of us are described as Prakriti, not Purusha. Purusha is Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna, when he realized after reading Bhagavad Gita, he addresses Krishna as Purusha. Parabrahma parangdhama pavitram paramam bhavan. Purusha, Sasata. You are not that you have become Purusha now, but Sasata, eternal. Just like here, we are Purusha. This birth I am Purusha. Next birth I may become Stri or Prakriti. If I am too much fond of woman, and at the time of death, if I think of woman, then I get woman's body. Jang jangavapi sanan bhavang tajattanti kalevaram. Therefore, too much attachment for woman is not good. Because, or too much attachment for anything in this material world, that is doomed. Therefore, here it is said, Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. My attachment, my heart's attraction is so strong, it is like Granthi, knot. So, Atmadarshanam means Hridayaganti Bhedanam, opening the knot. Hridayaganti Bhedanam. That is Atmadarshanam. When I become free from all attachment of this material world, that is called Hridayaganti Bhedanam. And how the Hridayaganti knot in the heart begins. That begins, Pungsang Striyami Thuni Bhavametat Tayor Mitha Hridayaganti Mahu. Here in this material world, it is going on. Pungsang, the man, and Striyang, of the woman, attachment. Pungsang Striya Mithuni. What is that attachment? Sex. Sex. Pungsang Striya Mithuni Bhavamita. Tayor, the desire is there. And as soon as they unite, by marriage or by agreement by any way, then Hridayaganti Mahu. Then the attachment becomes more and more. There are thousands and millions of women, but the woman with whom I have got my bodily relation, I cannot forget her, and she cannot forget me. Hridayaganti Mahu, the attachment increases. And as soon as they are united, there is Hridayaganti, knot between heart to heart. You my dear, you my heart. So then we must find out an apartment. Now there is no need of apartment. But as soon as there is Hridayaganti, there is need of atagriha chetra sutapta vittai janasya mohoyam ahangamameti. This Hridayaganti increases, develops. Now there is need of attachment, apartment, griha. Now there is need of land for getting food grains. Now they have got what is called service. Go to the office 50 miles away and you get your food grains. Formerly this was not possible. Therefore one must possess some land to produce food grains. Now if you can get some money, you can purchase 8 rupees kilo of food grains. That is possible. But formerly that was not possible. Formerly you must have land. Parjannat anna sambhava. Annat bhavanti bhutani. You have to produce. People are not interested now producing food grains. They somehow or other, if they can get that paper currency, they can purchase. And therefore everyone has got this printed paper. The value is increasing. Competition. I can pay 2 rupees kilo. The others say, no, I can pay 3 rupees. What is this rupees? This paper. You, somewhere or other, you gather this paper and if there will be competition and the price will increase. This is the economy. Because they have got false money, therefore there is false increment of price. Bad money. Gresham's theory. Bad money drives away good money. As soon as there is bad money, this paper currency, the coin, gold coins and silver coins, they are finished. They are no more. So, Hridayaganti, how we are becoming tied up between so-called one heart to another. Atagriha, first of all attachment for man and woman, then attachment for the apartment, griha, then land, griha, kshetra, then suta, children, then apta, friends, society, friendship, love, suta, apta, then vitta, money. In this way, we increase the knot one after another, 1 knot, 2 knot, 3 knot, 4th knot, it is going on. And self-realization means opening the knots. Opening the knots. The knots began like that. As janasya mohoyam aham mameti. And here it is said, hridaya granthi bhedanam. Bhedanam means separate them. Separate them. And that is self-realization. Self-realization means that I am spirit soul. Aham brahmasmi. Soham. I am as good as the Supreme Spirit, Krishna. Somewhere or other, I am now in contact with this material attachment. This is called Atma Darshan. And that is clearly explained. Atma Darshan means Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. Atma Darshanam does not mean Hridaya Granthi Briddhi or increasing. Therefore, real Atma Darshan, real liberation, real consciousness is separation from this material attachment. Voluntarily, forcefully, or by knowledge, that is required. Therefore, you will find India, Vedic civilization, is meant for this unknotting, the Hridaya Granthi. Therefore, sannyas is compulsory. Vanaprastha is compulsory. If you really follow Vedic principle, you become student, brahmachari. You learn everything. What is this life? What is this world? What is Krishna? What is God? What is your relationship with Him? These studies. That is complete study. But still, if you want to be knotted by Hridaya Granthi, grihastha, a concession, all right. Pumsang sriyam mithun, that concession is for sex life. Grihastha life is a concession given for enjoying sex life. Otherwise there is no need of grihastha life. Therefore there were many brahmacharis, akhanda brahmacharis, never married in life. Many, but that is not possible at the point. But there is training. The brahmachari is taught that this is the position. Don't be knotted with this material world. But still, if he cannot do that, then with the permission of the spiritual master, he accepts a wife. That is grihastha life. But that also not for many years. Say for 25 years. Up to 25 years you remain a student, brahmachari, then you accept one wife according to religious ritualistic ceremony. But no illicit sex. That is not allowed. Bachelor daddy is not allowed. That is very dangerous. So, kamam dharma aviruddha kamam aham asmi, Krishna said. That even without wife and everything, then you take sannyas. That is the stage of Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. Not that up to the last point of death you are attached with family and wife and children. That is animal life. That is not human life. Human life, you must try to unknot this Hridaya Granthi, man and woman. Hridaya Granthi Bhedanam. That is self-realization. So, the Sankhya philosophy described by Kapil Dev is very scientifically described. And if we try to assimilate it, then our life will be successful.